Hello, and welcome to the Nerdiest podcast, where nerds talk about nerdy things. I'm one of your hosts, Mr. Jackson Glass, here as always. And before we dive in, I just got to get it out of the way. You should follow us on Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast. We're posting some cool stuff there on Twitter at Nerdiest Pod and TikTok at the Nerdiest Podcast. So we do cool things there. Also, I'm sorry to do this so early, but we have stickers, link in the description, and we're so close to selling 50 stickers. And I said if we sold 50, then I would get the Nerdiest Podcast logo tattooed on my bicep, which words to regret by. You can quote me on that. But that's out of the way. Sorry to do that to you so early. But my name is Jackson Glass. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Nic Barrett. Hello. How are you, sir?
Slightly out of breath.
Mm-hmm.
So to all the video watchers who just watched me do like an inordinate amount of I'm so out of breath. I'm only 20. This shouldn't take this much out of me. For all the video watchers who just watched me work out workout in air quotes. For context, I just ate dinner and I was in like that post-food, like I'm ready, like that food coma where you're ready to go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And I need to wake myself up, but we didn't have time to delay the episode any longer.
So here we go. Here we are.
Okay, I feel better
on this episode. You good? Also note about video watchers. You'll notice that we're back to video. We were off video for like 2 weeks as like life transitioned. I'm in my new room right now. Despite the cinder block wall, I'm not in prison.
He is actually. Don't let him fool you.
They sent me to jail for my controversial opinions on the Cars franchise in the tier list. But here we're in a new room. I don't have my camera set up yet, so you get to see me in beautiful 720p off of my laptop camera. But I'm getting lights set up.
It's okay.
If you notice, I have a bit of a cowboy aesthetic going on right now, which is pretty sick. Don't ask me why, because I don't really have a reason. I just think that it's a good aesthetic, and my Instagram bio for the longest time has said, there is no hello in this home, only howdy. And that just resonates deep with me. And yeehaw is such a universal phrase that can apply to anyone, can apply to anything. And so they say, why do you have a cowboy aesthetic bedroom? And I say, well, yeehaw, that's why. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to dive right into weekly recap, and I'm going to say, Mr. Nic, how was your week? And what have you been doing? What have you been watching? What's going on?
So my week's been pretty okay. I've been doing a lot of work on the Joystick Drift podcast, which I announced at the end of the last episode, and the first episode of that goes out as of time of release on this episode on Wednesday, October 5th. So if you're listening to this after that, it'll already be out. If you want to go check it out, it's a Nintendo gaming podcast I do with a couple of my college friends. So I've been doing a lot of that, editing that. I shot like a whole intro and stuff on my phone or on my camera and edited that. I've been putting together like demo reels and resumes and stuff to send out for jobs. I sent out an application for a position, a writing position. It's not like a creative writing position, it's a news writing position, and I got an email back for that. So that's exciting. I need to finish that this weekend. Finish up the rest of that application process and get everything worked out. I don't have the job yet. I have to do like a writing aptitude test or something. But once that's done and that gets approved, then I have the job from there. So that'll be exciting to have. Is exciting. At least I'm something else to do. Thank you. I try. But also, if you had told me a year ago when I finished film school, I would potentially be an anime news writer for a website, I would have laughed a little bit, but been like, it's not that far out of the realm of possibility. Yeah. Not what I expect to be doing, but sometimes, you just got to get a job that pays the bills. Like, I'm just saying,
Mom, if I have to become an anime news writer, Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pay the bills. Trying to keep the lights on.
My mom actually, shout out to my mom. She actually is the one who peer reviewed and looked over the cover letter that I sent in for that job. And then they emailed me back. So shout out to my mom.
Just be like, guys, I'm trying to keep the lights on. You know, just like trying to. Sorry, guys.
This is all I got. Like, actually, is these professional lights that I have. That's all I got. The light that's on my ceiling fan, not on.
Not on.
But other than that,
no
I've just
lighting.
been kind of chilling, playing a lot of Fortnite. Because I finished Xenoblade 3, clocked in a whopping 105 hours. Which I'll be doing an episode all about Xenoblade with Colin on the Jurassic Drift podcast in a couple weeks. And I'm not done with the game either. I'm done with the story, but I'm not done with the game. I'm just taking a break for a little bit so I don't get Xenobladed out.
Fair.
So doing that, Fortnite. I started Big Bang Theory, I think, since the last time we recorded. I don't really remember because I'm on season 8 out of 12, and it's all just kind of a blur. So been watching that, which I have thoughts about that we'll get into in a little bit. Watching Andor, My Hero Academia season 6 just started today. I watched all of Cyberpunk, which was good. And I think that's about it. Just kind of big accomplishment. I would argue the biggest accomplishment I did all week, this week.
Okay, I'm ready.
I finally got Megan to watch anime, which is a big deal. If anyone's been listening to the show for any amount of time, that's a big deal because she's been so like, anime is weird. It's not my thing. I don't like it. She watched the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney anime, like both seasons of it. And now she's watching Spy Family.
Oh,
which
okay.
was my next recommendation for her was Spy Family. So yeah, that's my biggest accomplishment of the week. Now, my last thing is, speaking of anime, I know this episode was supposed to be Jackson's Anime Adventure, Full Metal Alchemist, Brotherhood, but we made the joint decision that Jackson has, like, he's just not had enough time to dive into Full Metal Alchemist. And you've seen, what, 6 episodes?
6 episodes.
Something like that. So we decided that 6 episodes was not enough for a Jackson's Anime Adventure. So we're going to push that episode back a little bit so he has some more time to watch and, like, really get into the show. Maybe not all 64 episodes, but, like, just, I think, what did I say the cutoff was? 24? We said
26? Was it
26?
24,
yeah,
26?
That makes sense.
Yeah, because it
was one of those two. It's before the third opening, which I think is 26.
This is still an episode I really want to do because that's, like, and we've only done like one episode in the series, but I feel like it's such, like, that was such a good episode and I want to continue doing that. And there's something significant about a date that I haven't got to yet.
Oh yeah. Inside Ed's Pocket Watch is October 3rd is like that was the day that all the things happened. So they have like a Remember October 3rd, and this episode goes out on October 3rd. So that was the significance of having it on that day. But I would rather delay it and have a better episode than rush it for the date and have an episode
which
that we're not super
we did
proud
that
of.
a couple years ago where we wanted to have our 50th episode be about the 50th anniversary of Disney World, and we just had,
and then
like,
we decided that was not
we were just like structuring our entire year around that, and we're like, this is not worth it. Like, it's cool, but it's not worth it.
Yeah, it was also like we were nowhere near 50 episodes.
No.
Like, we were at, like, 40, and it was a month away, and I'm like, 10 episodes in 1 month?
Yeah, we were like,
we can make it work.
Like, bet. back in my
not.
prime.
It's a bad idea.
Back in my prime, I could be weekly, but...
Now, granted, I can also start picking anime that aren't as long.
Yeah.
Like, I could totally put you on Spy Family, which the first, like, half of the first season is 12 episodes. And, like, you know, you also kind of get a feel for the whole show by episode 6.
You don't need to see an entire show or the entire series, or you just need to, I just need to, like, have a grasp or be like, hey, we're
Right.
talking about the first season, because it's like I can't watch. We're gonna talk about One Piece, and we're gonna do the full
all
every episode.
1,035 episodes of One Piece.
I'm just saying, it's real. The One Piece is real. I'm just saying.
Colin and I are gonna watch One Piece together at some
my
point. He wants to watch it together, which is the only reason I haven't started it yet. But also one of my college friends, like, One Piece is her favorite anime, and she's been hounding me for the last year and a half to watch One Piece, and I'm like, no.
My roommates watch One Piece. It looks
want
cool,
to.
but I'm just not. I don't really care.
Yeah, it's also the peer pressure of, like, when you keep telling me to watch something, it makes me not want to watch it even more, just, like, to make a point.
Okay, so
that I don't want to watch it.
This is a pet peeve of mine, and it's good to learn things about yourself. This is something I learned is I really just hate it when people are upset when you haven't seen a TV show, because it does not matter. Get out of here. Because, like, you're wearing a Dunder Mifflin shirt now, and this pet peeve started when I got into The Office, and everyone is just like, if you say anything bad about The Office, you're gonna get crucified. And which I think The Office is a great show. I think it's really funny, but I also understand that that's a very special kind of humor that's not for everyone. And so I think it's so subjective, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't care if you don't like the same show I do. It's just kind of like, all right, that's fine. So I don't know, that's pet peeve. Also, pet peeve I learned this week is when people feel the need to tell you that you look tired. That's so rude, okay?
I get it. I look tired, okay?
It's like,
I understand.
it's because I
am tired. That's why.
It's like supposed to be like this dawning thing, like, oh my gosh, you're right, I am tired. It's like, I look tired because I am. That's like so rude. It's like, man, you're not looking too good today. It's like, since when was that okay? So,
no, I mean, hey, if I look tired, it's because I am.
Probably because I am.
So thank you for making an observation. Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Hey, that's a really good point, Diane. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
As far as what I've been watching, I've honestly been watching a lot of, like, kind of obscure media, which is kind of outside my regular. Starting, I think I can tease this now. I've seen 2 Pirates of the Caribbean movies this week. Potential revisit. Anyway. But I also watched I watched Mean Girls for the first time recently. I don't think I've talked about this. That's such a good movie. I watched Legally Blonde too. Okay, that one's just okay. I think that one's overrated. We watched Alpha and Omega, which, if you don't know what Alpha and Omega is, it is a really crummy animated movie about wolves, and it is so cringy and kind of painful, and so it's really fun to watch. But that's just kind of what I've been up to. I've just kind of been in class, so I don't have a lot to say. Classes are going well. I'm working on a video setup. I'm doing a lot of events. Like, I've gotten the opportunity to, like, run sound at a lot of events recently, which has been kind of a blessing because I'm poor. And so, and it's also been really great because I'm, like, upgrading gear. I'm going to get a gear upgrade for this setup soon, and I'm revamping the Coffee Time podcast, which is the other podcast that I run, if you don't know that, which it's kind of funny. We both have, like, our own podcasts now and then just come together for the Nerdiest. So I'll take it.
The Nerdiest podcast is the Avengers Endgame of our podcast.
It's all coming together. So
we haven't done the Coffee Time Nerdiest crossover yet.
No, I want to do it so bad. You just need to come over here.
Okay, at this point, we need to do a Joystick Nerdiest Coffee Time crossover.
So
episode.
it's like,
I don't know what's the what are those things called where you put the Venn diagram?
Oh, a Venn diagram.
I don't know what the middle of all 3 of these shows are. Conversations. I don't know what it is. Speaking words.
Speaking
is the
words.
one thing we all have in common.
we're gonna get a podcast with me, you, Alex, Milena, and David. Okay, what a crew!
And John Mayer. We have
And
to get
John
Mayer,
Mayer,
too.
of course.
He's
What a
the
crew.
unofficial third host of Coffee Time.
Amen. What a legend. So yeah, that's coming back. Look out for that. I'm gonna be posting stuff about that soon, so that's why you should be following, so we can share stuff like that. Other than that, yeah, I've been doing great. Life is good. I'm sleeping, not much, but I'm sleeping. So
I feel that.
good recap.
I feel that on emotional level.
I want to dive into a couple news topics. Just kind of stuff that happened over the week. And I think the biggest one that I've seen going around right now is the announcement of Deadpool 3 and how Hugh Jackman is coming back to play Wolverine. So tell me what you think about that.
I think it's going to be a movie.
Oh no. Do you have
Those are my thoughts.
Is this one of those things where you're like, oh, that's actually kind of stupid? And it's just...
No, because I will say, Deadpool 3 having Wolverine really gets me enticed to watch not only Deadpool 2, but also all the X-Men movies and Logan before it comes out, which it comes out in 2024. So I have plenty of time to do that. Excuse me. But it's one of those things that, like, I can understand why people get excited about it, but then it's not doing it for me. Just because, like, Hugh Jackman, like, I don't have a huge attachment to Wolverine. So, like, I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with it. I think it'll be good. Everyone's like, oh, Disney just digging up the grave of blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, well, you know what? Shut up. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
your hot take is not that hot, actually. Shocker.
I think it's cool. But I think it's cool. And I really love it when actors are friends and can do things together, because that's what I love to do, is just do things with my friends. And so I really like that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman are, like, together on this. And they, like, make fun of each other on social media all the time. Them and Jake Gyllenhaal have, like, a little group. But I also just, from a completely objective and, like, movie standpoint, I don't like the continuation of the trend of, like, let's just bring back an old character that they like.
Right.
I don't like that. I don't want to encourage that. And I think Deadpool 3 is going to be insanely successful, and I think it's going to be insanely good. But I'm also I feel like Deadpool is one of those things that we can keep out of the MCU. And
well, it's too late. He's coming in. So
and I'm also like, I haven't seen the second one, but I think he might only need 3 movies. And I think the idea of continuing Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, like, for years to come is a little scary, because I think his charm will wear off.
So here's what I'll say to that. I think if you want to continue Ryan Reynolds Deadpool, what they should do is, like, a mini series on Disney Plus, where you can really just let Ryan Reynolds be Ryan Reynolds, and he can do whatever he wants to do in that mini series. But here's another thing to consider is, if Deadpool 3 is canon to the MCU, then that means that Logan is canon to the MCU, which means that all of the X-Men movies are canon to the MCU, which we kind of already knew that because Professor X was in Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. The multiverse thing gets really confusing because it's like, well, there's Earth 616, and then there's Earth blah, 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 and then there's Earth 2152. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of like, maybe, I don't know. It's confusing.
Yeah. Well, they explained it, and they were like, spoilers for Logan right here, if you care. Do you care? Oh, he cares. Well, okay, never mind. Never mind. You're good.
Okay.
I had
Well,
to
I
put
just
his
realized I'm gonna have
headphones
to
back in.
edit through it anyway. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
No, I won't spoil it, but they explained a couple things on their trailer online. If you watched the full video that like Ryan Reynolds posted, he's like, "Well, I'm sure you have some questions. How is Wolverine alive?" And they're like, "This and that. Well, that because of this, and this is the timeline." And I'm like, "All right, if you have to explain it."
Then that might not be the best idea.
I don't deny that it'll be a good movie, because Deadpool movies are generally pretty good, and I think there's like some actual like talent, writing, acting. Any younger viewers, don't watch Deadpool.
No, please don't. It is not a safe for kids movie. Absolutely.
As an adult that watched it, I was uncomfortable, but you know
I
what?
like the action. I think there could have been less scenes with no clothes, if you know what I mean.
If you're getting my drift. So
you're catching my joystick drift.
So yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I'm curious to see how this develops. But I do feel hype. I'm hyped for their chemistry, like Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds in a movie together, like as superheroes. I think that's gonna be pretty dope, and that's gonna sell a lot of tickets. And I'll definitely go see it.
And they're counting on that.
Yeah, but that's my problem. Is that's what they're counting on. Moving on is Colin Trevorrow said this week that Jurassic World franchise might not be done, and I just want to speak directly to Colin right here. We're good. So that's all I have to say.
No, here, let me give a message to Colin Trevorrow, just if I may. No. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you.
Here's the thing. I will point people back to our Jurassic Park-tacular episode where we tackled all 6 Jurassic Park / World movies in one episode. I think it's the longest episode we've ever done. Mm-hmm. But what I want to say about that is, where do you go with Jurassic World from here? Because the new movies were really just a retread of the first 3 movies in a way. And the only original concept presented was, hey, what if dinosaurs were in the real world and we just left them that way? Now, I want to know where they go from here, because spoilers for Dominion, in case anybody cares.
You shouldn't,
If
though.
you lean into the whole human cloning aspect, then it's not a Jurassic World movie anymore. Because Jurassic World's about dinosaurs, not about people. But I think we're kind of done on the dinosaur front. Like, I don't think there's anything we can do that isn't, well, let's cage them up, put them back in a park, and do it all over again.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it should be over. Like, we should be done. If you want to do a different Jurassic story, then yeah. I mean, maybe there's some original plot line to be had there, but I don't know. I think they should be done. Let it go. It was the extinction of the Jurassic World franchise. They were done until the movie made $1 billion at the box office. And then they were like, okay, we put out a subpar movie that people vocally disliked and still made $1 billion, which is a bad lesson to teach movie studios. Mm-hmm. Maybe don't.
Guys, we messed
do
up.
That.
I'm sorry. I think
we might have screwed up.
Guys, I think we messed up. But I think really the only way that comes to mind that Jurassic Park as a as a franchise can go is if they would have to do something really different, and they would have to be really creative and almost similar to what Star Wars did with The Mandalorian, where they were like, we're gonna disconnect it for a little bit and make it its own thing and then maybe reconnect it later. I think if they did like an anthology series on a streaming platform for Jurassic Park, and they did it like, hey, this is what life was like with dinosaurs in the real world. You know, the part of Dominion I wanted to see and got none of. And it was Fire Locust instead, which is crap.
Okay.
Those are my thoughts.
Hear me out.
I'm hearing you
because
out.
this is gonna trail into something else I was gonna mention that I haven't told you yet.
Oh shoot.
But hear me out. I just thought of this.
Okay.
A Jurassic World horror movie where, like, all right, Universal, I'm giving you a free idea here. I'll give you this one for free. I'll let you have this one. So it's like this stereotypical horror movie trope where they're like, let's go out to a cabin in the woods and like we're gonna go out and hunt, or we're gonna spend a weekend or whatever, and then dinosaurs are just the antagonist instead of it being like, there's a scary monster out there, there's a bear out there. No, it's just a dinosaur.
It's just a dinosaur.
It's just a velociraptor or something. Like, really lean into, because the original, from what I've heard, the original Jurassic Park book was terrifying. And I think if you really want to keep going with this franchise, you have to do something like that, where it just completely shakes up and throws everything on its head and just like throw it out and be like, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to let it happen. Kind of like that Winnie the Pooh horror movie that's coming out next year. Which I kind of want to go see it, by the way. I don't like horror movies, but I kind of want to go see it.
I don't like scary movies. But that one intrigues me, but I'm also like, here's the thing. If like A24 was like, we're doing this, or like, I don't know, some other studio's doing it, indie horror films are unhinged.
Yeah.
And I don't think I'm about that lifestyle, so I'm just gonna
I'd
wait
have to
and see
see it
happens.
at like 12 o'clock on a Tuesday. Otherwise, I will not sleep. I can't watch it anytime past 3 o'clock. Because if I come out and there's not a ton of hours between when I leave that theater and when it's time for the sun to go down at night, I will not sleep.
Nope. I'm gonna call my mom and say, pick me up, I'm scared.
Speaking of horror movies, I decided that in October, because it's spooky month, I want to watch Ridley Scott's Alien, because I've never seen it.
Yep.
And it traumatized me as a child on the Great Movie Ride at Hollywood Studios.
Same.
And I think it's time to finally bring that full circle and watch the actual movie. So I'll come back to you guys in a future episode if I end up watching it. It's only $4 to rent, so I'm like, I'll rent it. We'll see what happens.
While we're on the topic of scary movies, I want to say the Nope Blu-ray released, and I'm gonna buy that super soon. And also, Don't Worry Darling is in theaters right now, which is getting really bad reviews. And it's rated R, and it's scary, and it's got some I know it's gonna have some inappropriate stuff in it, but I feel like I want to go see it and just cover my eyes during scenes, and I want to be there for the Harry Styles acting arc. I want to say I was there. I saw him in Eternals. Okay. I want to say I saw him in Don't Worry Darling. So
forgot he was in that movie.
Either when his acting career flops hard and they're like, nope, Harry, stay in your lane, or he's like Dwayne Johnson level famous, I want to be there. So I don't know. I'll let you know what I think. I might go take Logan to see it. So that's what's up.
How quaint.
They said Armor Wars is turning into a movie from a show. I don't care.
It's not that big of a deal.
I hate that we don't care about Marvel. Anyway,
listen, Marvel did this to themselves by putting out too much content. Okay, like I'm on the fence of whether or not I'm gonna go see Black Panther, because I just don't have any. Well, also I canceled my Regal Movie Pass, which. Single tier, though it'll be canceled till like January, just because I don't have like super stable income at the moment, And on the list of like the chopping block of things that need to go, that's one of them that needs to go. So, and also there's not a ton of movies coming out like right now or that are coming out before the end of the year where I'm like, yes, I want to go see that movie. Like even Black Panther, there's Black Adam, there's Avatar. See, this is exactly why I canceled it. It's because I can't. I can count on one hand the number of movies that I want to go see the rest of this year that aren't going to be on streaming or whatever.
Which is sad because we had some good releases that got delayed. Yeah.
And it's also sad because I want to watch more movies this year because with the new movies that I've seen, if I watch one more 2022 movie, I'll have broken the record for how many new movies I watched last year. And then I'm close on my total. Actually, no, I'm not even close on my total movies. I still need to watch 8 or 9 more movies to break that record. So it's like I want to watch more movies just to break the record.
Yeah,
but also there's nothing new coming out that I want to see. So
man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to break my record from last year.
I don't either. I think next year has a good running. Especially like looking at the slate like, oh, we have Barbie and Oppenheimer and Guardians 3 and Indiana Jones 5 and Transformers and all the other Marvel projects that are coming. All the other ones that are happening. So next year, the Mario movie, which is getting a trailer this week as of time of release, which we won't be able to talk about that for a couple episodes because we're going to pre-record. But it's okay. If you want to hear me talk about it specifically, I should be doing an episode of that on the Joystick Drift podcast. Link in the description if you want to go check it out. I'm just saying.
My God.
That was the perfect time to plug it.
Anyway. So the biggest news from this week.
Yeah, the real biggest news.
Are you ready?
This week.
Are you ready? I don't think you're ready.
The real biggest news.
I don't think you're ready. Okay. 2023 on Peacock, we will get the Community movie. Okay?
Let's go!
I could cry, and I will. So, Community, an incredible sitcom. It just, honestly, hardcore underrated. They got their 6 seasons. They said, we want 6 seasons in a movie. And they got their 6 seasons, all right? And
we got
it ended
the
in
movie
what? It ended in what? 2015?
I think it was 15. Let me double check.
So, fans have been campaigning for a movie for so long because that's the joke in the show is he says 6 seasons in a movie. That's what we want. And it's here, and and I think, and I'm just thinking back to like, I think this is different than some of the other media that is getting revamped. Like we were just talking about how we're questioning if we're questioning Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine. I think this is different because it feels like it feels necessary is what I'll say. I think Community is a show that requires some follow-up. I think the story actually has somewhere to go. The plot of this movie, as far as I know, hasn't been talked about. I don't know who's all coming back. I know the casting of that show is kind of controversial at times and like in and out.
So in terms of the casting, they said everyone's coming back except for Donald Glover, which is a shame. Yvette Nicole Brown and Chevy Chase.
Dang, those are some core characters.
Chevy Chase can't come back because Pierce in the show is dead.
He's canonically dead.
He's canonically dead, so it doesn't matter. He's
canonically dead when he
really
left the show the
want
first
Donald
time.
Glover to come back though. Like Troy was one of my faves.
Yeah.
And let me say this. As excited as I am for this movie, I don't want it to be a let's go save Greendale movie.
Oh my god.
Like I don't want the trailer to start and the dean be like, well, we're in financial trouble or we're in blah, 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 blah. So now we have to get everyone back together and do the whole save Greendale thing again. Because that's what like the last 2 seasons were about.
Yeah.
So I want to, and if they really just want to make it a decent movie, like lean into how wacky it is. Like, they could do a whole movie about paintball, and I think I would be satisfied with that if they did it right.
Well, that's an interesting thing to bring up, is Community is different every episode. So how do you translate that to be a movie? Like, are there different, like, is it built into sections, and like the sections are different, or is it consistent? Like, what does that look like? And plot wise, I mean, I don't want another Save Greendale movie, like you said, or story, but I don't know. This is tricky because it's necessary. I think I just really need to know what the characters are up to. Know, like, I need an actual time gap. I need to know what they've been up to. I need them to all be happy. I don't want any of this, like, oh, we're getting back together because, like, all of our lives suck.
Somebody died.
That was the beginning of season 5, okay? So I think I need everyone to just get together for some hijinks. Have some heartfelt moments.
Yeah. I
need a classic Jeff Winger speech. I need some sick cameos from, like, well, I don't know if Leonard is still alive, but I need some sick
Shut up,
cameos.
Leonard.
Shut up, Leonard. I found your YouTube channel where you review frozen pizza. It's like, who even watched? Who is that even for? It's like, you're talking about it. Oh, well. That's such a good line. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's so much potential, but I have my concerns. I don't know a lot of Peacock originals. I don't have Peacock. I will get
this
a
will be
trial
the
for
only
this
time
movie.
I use Peacock, by the way. This will be the exclusively for Peacock thing.
Yeah. So
I'm also a little concerned because they said 2023, which, as someone who knows the film process, like, what's their timeline? Because as far as I'm aware, they haven't actually started production yet. Like, I know Dan Harmon said the script is done, and they have, like, they have the actors locked in, but if it's coming out even late 2023, like this time next year, they'd have to start filming right now, because you're shooting, depending on how wild and wacky it is, you're looking between 3 to 6 months of shooting, and then another 4 to 6 months of post-production.
Yeah.
So, especially for a show like Community that's so stylized and different, it's not as simple as, like, a rom-com where, oh yeah, we just got to do a little color correction and maybe a little audio tweaking, and, like, not to undermine the work of, post-production, but there's a very clear difference in post between a rom-com and a Marvel movie, is what I'm saying. So I think that's what I'm worried about, and I don't want them to rush it to have it out for 2023. So I know they said 2023, but I wouldn't be shocked, depending on how things go, if it doesn't get pushed to 24.
Yeah, there's also something to say for, we don't know if they've started yet. And who's to say that they don't have this huge plan to, like, knock it out and get it done, and it'll be great. Okay, one more thing I need from it is if there's another Jeff Annie romantic subplot.
I was gonna say I'll leave the theater, but it's on Peacock. I'll leave my room.
I will leave my living room.
I will storm out of my room and then come back and finish it.
I'm just saying, they can make a joke about it if they want. Don't do it for realsies. Otherwise,
do you think they'll use this movie to retcon and clarify stuff from the end of the series? Like, do you think they would be like, well, Britta and Jeff were originally supposed to be together, so this is oh no, I hate how realistic that is. Oh no. That's too realistic, where it's a movie where Jeff and Britta slowly fall back in love, and then that's how the movie no.
I want it to start with Jeff and Britta married.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah,
but
no, I would be okay with that, but I think there's Community is so much more than that.
No, it is 100%.
So,
I just hate how realistic that premise is.
Also, here's another interesting question. Do you think the humor of Community would resonate today?
Yes, because it's not as disconnected from today's humor as something like The Office.
That's true.
Like, if you go back, and I think even Steve Carell himself said, yeah, The Office wouldn't work today.
Yeah.
Just because of where our climate for humor is at, which I'm not going to get on either side of that argument, because I'm watching Big Bang Theory, and there's some stuff they say in there that I'm like, oh my gosh, we could not say that today, but you could get away with it in 2007.
For better or worse.
So
that's debatable.
But yeah, I think it'll work. And I trust, especially since Dan Harmon is involved, I trust that he's going to do a good job, because I think that's kind of where a lot of Community faltered at the end of the series, is because he jumped off and then got back on and then jumped off and got back on. So I think he knows what he's doing. And also I feel like he wants a break from Rick and Morty, not going to lie. Because they just got greenlit for like another 6,000 years of Rick and Morty. So I don't blame him. But I'm going to trust that he'll end up doing a good job.
Right.
And it'll be a very satisfying movie. Because this is a big deal. Like, 6 seasons in a movie is the thing.
Yeah.
That Community is kind of known for. So there's a lot riding on it. I'm shocked it's a Peacock exclusive.
I know, right?
I figured it would be a Netflix exclusive, because Netflix has the streaming rights for the show.
Yeah, but also Peacock is kind of scraping, is what I would say.
Oh, no, that's true. I wonder, is Community on Peacock? I know it's on Netflix and Hulu,
not.
but I don't know if it's on Peacock.
I think this was
If
kind
the
of
movie
like...
is...
This was kind of their niche thing to jump on and say, hey, at least we have the Community movie. I just hope it doesn't suck. I'm also concerned because no Troy. Like, no...
Yeah,
no
that's
Shirley.
a big...
Troy is the biggest one for
Also,
me.
Community is on... Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is included with Prime. When that's not what I was looking for, though. I was looking for Community. Community, all 6 seasons are on Amazon Prime.
Really?
They're all separate seasons. Oh wait, no. I don't know why they're
Okay. I have a funny story. I wrote an essay this week about the movie theater experience, which was pretty fun. I don't like essays though. But I thought it was fun, and I brought up the point that I was talking about how family and like animated movies are like kind of disregarded, and I was like, or like not talked about enough by like scholars, I'd say. And I brought up like, yeah, the 2 of the top 10 highest grossing movies of this year so far were Minions and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I like wrote that in an essay, and I had someone like reviewing it, and he just went, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. And he was like, Minions made how much money? Like, what the heck? And I just thought that was really funny.
Here's the thing. At the Game Awards this year, they're adding a best video game adaptation because of all the adaptations. If Sonic 2 doesn't win, I'm turning off the Game Awards and never watching it again. Unless it comes before the most anticipated game of 2023 award, and then in which Tears of the Kingdom should also win that. If neither of those things win, by the way, it's rigged. It's rigged against the system.
What's the point?
Because there's no way.
Anywho,
the Community movie. I don't know. I'm really curious what they're gonna do plot-wise. Like, what is the plot? I'm trying to think.
But I'm also
okay.
I'm also excited.
I don't want it to be a greatest hits movie.
Oh yeah, where they're like, what if
you know how sometimes they do like,
what if we did
let's
our
relive
greatest
all
moments?
of our greatest moments, and then it just turns into a highlight reel of everything they've already done.
Well, that'd be insanely ironic because there are episodes of Community that mock that style, where they relive their greatest moments, but it's moments that aren't actually in episodes. So it's just fully no context, like bizarre shenanigans. But I also think there's something to say for there's a way to do our greatest hits without being a clip show, which is they're like, oh, that I would categorize that as let's save Greendale. And they're like, oh, we're going to save Greendale. We're going to do another paintball game. We're going to do this spoof again. And we're going to do another pillow blanket fight. And I just don't want that. I want them to pay homage to the series, but also try something new, because a lot has happened in culture since the show has ended, and I want to see their take and their spoofs of more current cultural moments.
I swear to God, if they do a COVID bit, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
Because Brooklyn Nine-Nine did a COVID, like they did... Okay. Here's a lesson in how to not do a TV show episode. Starring Brooklyn Nine-Nine, season 8, episode 1. I think it's season 8. The entire first episode of that season was just a checklist of everything that happened in 2020. It started out with a social distancing and mask bit, which, as someone who's gone through that, I don't want to see that on TV.
It's just not funny.
Because one, that's really going to date that bit. And two, just no. Yeah. Like, it was a kind of funny bit where they're like, look, we're wearing masks, but it was Jake and Charles, and they were like, look, we can use these brooms to high five in every position. Like, that was funny. But then the rest of the episode is like, well, Rosa's, have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Nope.
Do you care about spoilers?
Nope.
All right, spoilers for Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the last season, for anybody who cares. Skip ahead like a minute. So Rosa leaves the Nine-Nine because of everything in universe that happened with George Floyd, which is all the same stuff that happened in the real world, which not a great thing that happened. I think we can all agree on that. Yeah. There's no disagreeing on that.
Pretty awful.
But the thing that I didn't like is how overtly on the nose they were, because there's even like what's his name? I don't remember the captain's name.
Captain Holt.
Oh, Holt. Raymond Holt. Yeah. Sorry, it's been like a month.
How do I know
that? So like Captain Holt is like, oh, it's so nice that we can all convene in this bar again now that we have all been vaccinated and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, this is a fictional TV show. I didn't like that. Thankfully, it was all just a first episode thing, and I get it. There was a super meta commentary about like, oh, we're looking at police differently after after 2020, and this is a show about cops. So yeah, there's a meta commentary to be had there. It just didn't need to be so on the nose, is all I'm saying. So what I don't want the Community movie to do is, oh my gosh, well, we were separated for COVID and now we've all come back together, but then one of us is still wearing a mask because they're super blah, 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 and then, whatever. And, like, I just don't want them to do that.
No,
I want it to feel separate, because it's been 7 years since season 6, and I don't know how long it's been in universe. They could time skip even further if they wanted to. So, yeah, I mean, at that point, you're way removed from any of that happening in the Communityverse.
Which I think there is a correct way to do that kind of thing. I think if they did, like you said, and they did a whole, like, COVID bit, and it was, I think that'd be, that would just be wrong. I don't like that at all. But if Jeff Winger makes a joke about how there are too many Marvel movies, I think that's funny. I think...
Yeah, they did... that was a bit in the last season.
And that's something...
They talked about how many Marvel movies there
I mean,
are.
if Jeff Winger wants to make a joke about Chris Pratt, I think that's funny. That's what
Can we get
the
Jeff
beauty.
Winger making a joke about Chris Pratt as Mario?
Please. There's like some funny like political humor in Community that is like you could claim it was dated, but I think that they did it well to a point where I was like, yeah, like that happened, and I think that's funny. But also the internet is at a point where just Obama jokes are funny, and I don't know why. I don't know how we got
everybody
there.
laughs at Obama jokes unconditionally.
God only knows why, but I was like, okay, pop off, I guess. So I think that's the thing about Community is it's not like the other girls in the sense of like it's hip and it's current and it stayed up to date. And it wasn't afraid to like push that line a little bit. And I think the movie can do that tastefully. Keyword is tastefully.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I mean, I think we can.
Curious.
I think we can both agree they're going back to Greendale.
Oh, 1,000%.
Somehow they're ending up back at Greendale. I think there's a few likely scenarios. They'll go down the easy route. If they want to go down the easy route, it'll be another Save Greendale plot. Or if they want to get a little more creative, they'll do an alumni. Like, we're going to do a 10-year college reunion or something. Like, that's what it'll be. That's what gets everyone back. Mm-hmm. But even then, it doesn't get everyone back. Like, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what Donald Glover's doing right now that he would not be down to do a Community movie. I don't know about Yvette Nicole Brown either. Like, I don't know what either of them are doing that they would not be down for a Community movie.
Here's what's interesting about Donald Glover is Donald Glover is a Renaissance man in a sense. He is so far removed from Troy Barnes at this point. It's almost like he's too cool to be Troy now. Not in like a bad way, but I think Donald Glover was an interesting case where if he stuck with comedy, he could have been like, oh, that funny guy that was like in comedies. Right. But he really now he's Childish Gambino and he's in Star Wars and he did Atlanta, which I've heard is really good. I haven't watched it, but
I want to watch it. I think that's my next watch once I finish Big Bang. I
want to watch Atlanta, but it's almost like he's so much more than Community now. I would understand if he said, no, I'm good. Which is sad because he's my favorite character in that show, and I think Abed's character won't be the same in the movie without Troy there.
Yeah.
But also, they survived in the last 2 seasons without him? Or just the last season?
Yes.
So it's possible.
I think it was halfway through season 5.
Yeah.
He left. And then and then we went all of season 6.
Which there's also something to say for there's a beauty in Community in the sense of characters are in and out, which is realistic. People, not everyone at a school is going to be there for the exact amount of time that you are, especially at a community college. Right. And so I know that there was a lot of actor disputes and director stuff that was going on behind the scenes. In it, people were in and out. There's also something to say for, in the last season they add 3 people. Okay, that's life, baby.
Yeah, all 3 of those people will probably come back. Who's to say?
I think they will. I think.
So, wait. Hold on. Was Jeff still a teacher at Greendale at the end of season 6?
I think he was.
Because if he is, there's your tie-in to get back to Greendale, because he's already there anyway.
Here's the plot.
How did I forget about that?
Here's the plot right here. I'm gonna lay it down for you. Jeff Winger, still a teacher at Greendale, loving it. He's happy. He's cool. Let's chill. 10-year alumni reunion. They all come back. They're reminiscing, and that's when some kind of question gets brought up, and they said, "Oh, that was never resolved." We go on a big journey through time, okay? We kind of get to visit our old favorite spots, okay? Not actual time travel, but we get to visit all of our favorite spots, and we get to like do like a mystery code breaker thing with like Senior Chang and like all this cool stuff that's like connects it like interweaves itself with the show and like answers questions and adds more and all this. And through this experience, Jeff and Britta fall in love, okay? And then she
That's what I'm saying. I
stays.
I think this movie's ending with them. Well, Britta was already there. She was working on becoming a therapist or a psychologist.
No, but
something.
she's long gone. In the time gap, she's gone.
Oh, you're saying in the span between the end of season 6 and the beginning of the movie, she's gone.
That's my theory.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
That's my
like
theory.
They get separated, and then when they come back together, they realize that they were supposed to be together the whole time, and it was always them. And
that's my theory.
Oh, that makes so much sense. It would fully tie in too. Because the whole reason that study group got formed is because Jeff wanted to sleep with Britta.
Yeah.
So I think that would come full circle, and it would tackle both of them being afraid of commitment.
Exactly.
Hello, Dan Harmon. We've written your movie.
Hire me. Like, what the
Dan Harmon, we've written your movie that you've already written, by the way.
That's what I'm saying.
You're welcome.
Like, what do you want from me other than that?
Dan Harmon, like, can we get on the set of the Community movie?
Sign the check.
I have a film degree. Can I come be a PA?
I have good
on
vibes.
A Community movie? Yeah, but you don't have a film degree from Full Sail University, so
that puts me ahead. No,
suck it.
Dang.
Yeah, I think
I had to do it to him.
Wow, that was a lot longer than I thought we were going to talk about that.
No, yeah, I'm kind of glad it was. Though.
Which that'll probably end up being the title.
Yeah, we can wrap it.
Movie.
We can wrap it. I want to go eat dinner.
So, yeah, I think it'll end up being a good movie. I hope, and maybe full review episode when it comes out. Who's to say?
YouTube video live reaction.
We could also do like not a community rewatch pod, but like
a revisit.
Community revisit before
the movie. Kind of like,
hey, that is a franchise if you think about it. Kind of. Who said franchises have to be just movies?
I'm just saying.
Revisiting Community in 2023.
I'm just saying. My mom said that I could watch it at your house if your mom is okay with me coming over.
I'm sure my mom is okay with that. So
I can bring pizza bagels.
Do it. I'll take my meds beforehand, and we can have some pizza bagels. Because I'm lactose intolerant, baby. Let's go.
Okay, I'm sorry. Pizza bagels aren't good. Pizza rolls. That's where it's at. That's where it's at.
The bagel bites.
The ratio is bad.
Too much bread to cheese.
That's what I'm saying.
Pizza rolls. Hear me out though. When you eat pizza rolls, do you like bite off the corners so it can cool off?
No, I pop that whole sucker in my mouth.
But I like take a bite out of the corner so it can cool off, and then I pop the whole thing.
That's weak.
Like, well, I'm talking like not a huge bite. I'm just talking like bite it enough so
just
that
a little
steam
nibble
can come
just
out.
A little nibble.
Just a little. Yummy. Also, hot take: Hot Pockets are one of the greatest man-made inventions. I'm sorry. Okay. It's such an ingenious idea. Hear me out, though. It's pizza, but you can eat it like a burrito. Humanity peaked at the Hot Pocket.
It's pizza you can eat like a burrito.
Can that be the new tagline? Pizza you can eat like a burrito. Hot Pockets.
Okay, I just coughed so loud and I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, that was beautiful.
I just want to say that my first week of school here, the dining hall food was destroying us all. And
makes sense.
One night it was like 10 p.m. and I was really hungry, and I found I had a Hot Pocket and I ate it and it was really good. But that Hot Pocket alone destroyed my stomach more than a week's worth of cafeteria food.
I never said it was healthy or good.
Have you? There's like a whole Jim Gaffigan.
I just said it. We
about
peaked at the creation.
I'm just saying. Will I do it again? Absolutely. Will I regret it 30 seconds later? Absolutely. Will I regret it later that night too? Absolutely. Like, what do you want from me? They're delicious.
God created man so that man could create Hot Pockets.
I hear nothing
the
but
Nerdiest
facts.
podcast. Wait. Hold on. Here's the quote. God, wait. I feel like that's getting into blasphemy territory. I'm gonna say it anyway. For God so loved the world that he sent his one and only son to save us so we could make Hot Pockets. First Nerdiest 1321.
I just love that you said.
You got to get me off the mic before we get canceled.
I just love that you said, oh, that's leaning into blasphemy territory. I'm going to say it anyway.
I mean, hey.
Anyway.
Who knows? That might get somebody to pick up a Bible. I don't know.
Amen.
Just double check and see if it's there.
Let's pray. So thank you.
Goes into the social plug.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Nerdiest podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Hey, you can follow us on Instagram at the Nerdiest Podcast, TikTok at the Nerdiest Podcast, Twitter at Nerdiest Pod. We're doing great original content there, and you'll get all the news and know when episodes are coming out. It's gonna be great. You can also buy our stickers. Link in the description. Guys, I really messed up. I said that I'd get the logo tattooed if we sold enough, and we're close. And I saw it coming, but I also was not thinking. So
no, you really weren't.
We
need to sell 12 more stickers.
So let's
see
how that develops. We'll see.
If we don't get 12 natural sticker sales by the time like the end of the year rolls around, I will buy 12 more stickers from Hannah. Just so we hit the 50 goal, and you have to get the tattoo anyway.
That's great. Good little Christmas gift.
Yeah, a little Christmas gift to the listeners. They get to so you get a tattoo.
So, hey, thanks for listening. All the links in the description if you want to listen to the Joystick Drift. They're doing cool stuff.
How do you know that? We haven't put out an episode yet.
Okay, it's called trust. I trust that you're doing cool stuff and everything that you do. Am I forgetting anything? Tune in next week, or 2 weeks from now. I think that's it.
Yeah. The next episode.
If you like what we do here, leave 5-star.
What the next episode is?
Leave 5-star review if we're at whatever platform you're on.
Yes, actually, yes. Do leave if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, which I know not a lot of people are, but if you're listening on Apple, leave a 5-star review and write a review because I can see them on Apple Podcast Connect now. So if you write a review, we will read it on the show.
Yes.
So yes, write in, leave a review. You can only do that on Apple, but if you're listening on Spotify, go find the show, give us a 5-star review, and write a review on Apple, and we'll read your review. You can even say, "I'm from Spotify. Here's my written review."
Yes.
And we'll read them out loud
That's
on the
fine.
show. So
you can also email us with the website, contact us page on the website.
Yes, the website I haven't updated in like 6 months.
All right. Well, thank you for listening. We'll see you in the next episode. Until next time.
Every time. You need to just...
Okay. You know what?
Out.
Bye.